Hello racing fans, and welcome back to another edition of Handicapper's Corner, brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. I'm Mike Heads along with Drew Forster. We're going to go through the Friday night races, August the 29th program. First race goes at 7 o'clock. We do have 7 races on tap to kick off the long weekend. Of course, we race the holiday Monday as well. Good to have you back, buddy.
Yes, thank you. Good to be back, and special thank you to Randy Golding for filling in for me last weekend while I was out of town attending a wedding. Randy, is always, his analysis is
He's
spot
great.
on.
He's good. He's good.
He does a very good job.
He fills in admirably, and he's got good insight. And it's nice to have Clocker in there, you know, because he does a lot of things, and he's pretty astute.
He wears a lot of hats,
yes,
Mr. Golding. One is filling in here at Handicapper's Corner, so thanks again to Randy. Good card on tap for the Friday night, and I love the Friday night under the lights at Hastings. It's a great atmosphere, super fun. Go out there, have a few pints, and while you're down there getting a pint, don't forget to pick up our pick sheet. Let's jump right into it, Mike. First race, claiming 5,000, 3-year-olds and up, going 6.5. 2 horses I really like in here. I picked them both. I couldn't decide. I ended up on Arkhill. I thought he needed the last race. He'd been off for a while. Ran a good second behind Big Jim. But now with that race under his belt, I think he might be able to turn the tables on him. The 9-year-old 17-time winner is... he knows where the wire is. Yeah. He's tough to beat. I got him on top. I put Big Jim in second. Conditioned by Hall of Fame trainer Alan May. Owned by the late Jim Veach, who was a good friend of ours here at the Derby Bar and Grill. All the best, and our thoughts go out to Jim Veach's friends and family. The aptly named Big Jim, because he was not a big man.
No, he wasn't.
He had a big heart. Big Jim in second. And the third spot, I put Lucky Molly Minor out of the Mike Anderson barn. I'll throw out that last race. Before that, he'd won 2 in a row. He's a horse that is capable at this level. I went 2, 5, and 3.
Yeah, I don't have a lot to add. I think you kind of nailed it. I'm going to go to Big Jim on top, but it's kind of they're interchangeable.
I like those two,
and Big Jim. I was impressed with the poor trip that Big Jim got. Arkhill got a great trip last time, and I know he was off for a little bit. But usually those veteran horses, their best race sometimes is the one off, the fresh one, the first one off the layoff.
Yeah.
So I'll just take Big Jim. It's not I don't know for sure, but I definitely like him to win it. I put Arkhill in for second, and I agree with Lucky Molly Minor for third. I don't know what happened last time. This horse was not involved at all, and there's way more horse there. And this horse was, a nice winner near this level 2 starts back. So you can't totally give up on him, make it a little bit better price. But I went 5, 2, 3 in the Friday opener. On to the second race, got some $5,000 claimers, going a mile and a 16th. This is kind of not the split, but the long end of race number 1. I ended up on the 2 Super Steve, aggressively spotted down for 5,000, getting out of the marathon series. He pushed some pretty good fractions last time, and ended up running a pretty good 4th. He will get pressured with True Grit coming back to Hastings and moving to the Anita Bolton barn. Doc Can Dance has speed, but I still think Super Steve has some tactical ability. He doesn't need the lead. He's better on the lead, but I just think he's going to get a pretty good trip, and he's the best horse.
Yeah.
Hands down the best horse. I put the 5 Lord Harlow in for second. A good win off last time off the claim, and they run him right back for the same money. But didn't beat a tough field, but I think he might get a very favorable pace scenario, which may help Lord Harlow's chances. And I put the 4 Minstrel's Time for the same reason in for third. A horse that is held in reserve early, makes his run late, and I think he might get a pretty good pace scenario. He'll catch some tiring horses. I went 2, 5, and 4.
I agree with your top pick. I think Super Steve is an absolute standout in here. He didn't catch a very tough field in here. He drops down, and compared to the shorter version with Arkhill, Big Jim, there's tougher horses in here. This is a much softer spot. He looks like a standout to me. This is a best bet of the day kind of horse.
Yeah, he is.
The second spot, I went with True Grit. Nick and Pauline Felicella's horses moving back here from Northlands Park. They landed in the very successful Anita Bolton barn. They've already had 1 winner out with Majestic Mark. These horses are aggressively spotted. They're going to make an impact. I don't mind True Grit in the second spot. And the third spot, I put Halo's Quest, coming out of a pretty soft race, but he did it well. He won pretty easy. And
I maybe should have put him in for third, because I picked him last time to win it, and I should have probably put him in for third just out of respect to the horse.
He is a pretty cool horse. Yeah. He'll jump up and he'll make some noise. So I went 2, 1, and 6 in the second. On to the third. 3-year-olds end up claiming 4,000. This one is going 6.5, and I've gone to the 6-horse Fast Stop. Horse that's owned by Bob Cheemley, brought him here to Hastings Park, another Anita Bolton horse. ran through his conditions pretty handily.
Yeah.
Just got beat. Made a big run last time, but just got beat by a Fleet Mac. And I don't roll on Shabbos. Didn't have a great trip. The Son of Awesome again is 8-3, 2 in one lifetime. I mean, he's always right in the mix. So he gets leading rider Amadeo Perez. Him and Anita Bolton batting 46% together. You cannot ignore them. I put the best named horse at Hastings, if not in North America. I don't roll on Shabbos. Love that name. In second spot, I could have had him on top. Big second behind the Fleet Mac last time. I expect another big effort from him. He's rounding into form. He's a horse that showed that he can get on a roll. Pardon the pun. And string together good races in a row. And I think he's rounding into form nicely. And Jeff Birmingham takes a call on him. In the third spot, I went with Ruffy Joe. Beaten favorite last time. I thought he absolutely should have destroyed that field. And got beat by After Court, so I didn't really know what to do with him. He disappointed me last time. I don't want to leave him out.
He should have won. He got held up in traffic at a slow pace.
Yeah. But even still, I thought he should have just ran away from those horses. So I put him in the third spot, but he's another one that's absolutely eligible to win. I like all three of them. All three of them could win. I like 6, 7, and 4. After that, I'm not sure, but those are the three I like. 6, 7, 4.
I agree. I got the same three. I went to I don't roll on Shabbos on top. I pretty impressed with the fractions he ran, and this horse had to earn it last time. He just got beat by he got outgained by a Fleet Mac, who on his best day is a pretty nice little horse, and he actually
every second day is a nice horse. Every second start he's a nice horse.
But I don't roll on Shabbos. I think he's going to get the lead in here. Bridge Jumper has been rating, joint choice rates. There's no speed in the race. I think this horse clears and gets the lead, and I don't think he's going to have to go 21-4 for the opening quarter, and thus he should have a lot more left. I agree with the 6 Fast Stop, not the best named horse. You like I don't roll on Shabbos, but Fast Stop is like, it's not a great name for a horse you want to go fast. Fast Stop. But you must respect the connections of Amadeo Perez and Anita Bolton. So a Fast Stop for me and for second. Had every shot to win last time, but just wasn't good enough. Couldn't even run by I don't roll on Shabbos, who was in a pace duel. So that's why I'm going to leave the 7 on top, put the 6 in second, and Ruffy Joe in for third, who's better going long, but did get compromised by some slow fractions last time and got held up in traffic. Should have won the race, but was just unlucky. I went 7, 6, and 4. On to the fourth race. Got some $8,000 claimers going 6.5 furlongs. Older horses here. I'm going to go to the 1, Stole It. Dropping out of conditional $16,000 races. This horse is a pretty cool horse. He can run fast early and run fast late, and I think that's what he might do. He just might be the best horse in here. He's going to have to earn the front end. There's other speed in here. You got Stormy Canuck, Bubba Fizz, Wise Boss, and Say Fabulous. So we're all kind of need the lead, or horses that are prominent early. But Stolwit's got the advantageous rail. Amadeo will be on board, and I just think Stolwit's your horse to beat. I put the 3-horse Stormy Canuck in for second. Reunited with the Tony Cloutier barn. I think this horse will, I ran a winning race last time, ran into a pretty good Grandpa George, who came back to win for 12-5. And I thought that was a pretty good effort last time, but perhaps the horse will improve. And I put the 5, Game 7 in for third. Horse that might appreciate a bit of speed up front. Never been great at Hastings, but seems to be a little better on a mild racetrack. But Game 7 down 1 peg in class after a disappointing return to the races. But I think he might get a favorable pace scenario. So I went 1, 3, and 5.
I have the same horses. I did go to Stormy Canuck on top. He dropped right down last time for 5,000. Just got beat a neck by Grandpa George, but Grandpa George is a pretty salty horse in his own right. And I do like the fact that he ends up in the Tony Cloutier barn again. Of course, Roy and Dixie Jacobson bred this horse, raised this horse, raced this horse with a fair bit of success, and lost him, when was that, last year?
Back class. He's a former allowance winner, high climbing winner. This field is well within his scope.
Yeah, last time he won was for 25 a year ago in May. Sorry, I got something in my eye there. I couldn't decide. I like Stormy Canuck and Stole It. I think those are the 2 best horses in the race. I had Stole It on top. I ended up going with Stormy Canuck on top. I got Stole It in the second spot. Another one dropping down from the conditional 16 level. As you mentioned, he gets Amadeo Perez for the very successful Tracy McCarthy barn. They do very well together, hitting around 30%, winning about a third of their races together. It was a coin toss between those 2 for me. I think one of those 2 will win it, Stormy Canuck or Stole It. And I put Game 7 in the third spot as well. A horse that will be closing into what could be a fair pace. If there's a fair pace, he'll be picking up the pieces late and could make some noise. I got 3, 1, and 5 in the fourth. On the fifth, Fillies and Mares, allowance 8,000. This is another leg of our claiming crown.
Yeah, the HBPA claiming series. And
it's been an absolute success.
It has.
These horses get everybody excited. I went to a horse who's won 2 of these, Clarice B. She's proven the best in the first 2. Just won the first one on a head bob, but came back, won the second one fairly convincingly by a length. Amadeo Perez sticks with for Frank Barabee, and I think Clarice B is the horse to beat in here. The other horse that I have in the second spot is a bit of an interesting horse in that it comes from Golden Gate, Santa Rosa, I should say. Comes from the Southern California, Northern California circuit. For trainer Dave Milburn, they bring up horses from Bob Hess quite regularly. This one just got beat for 8,000 going a neck at Santa Rosa last time. It was going 5 furlongs at 58, a decent time, got a good buyer for it. A horse that seems to fit well in here. I got Julio's Gold in the second spot. And the third spot, I went to Sacred Delight out of the Rosie Anderson barn. She skipped the last one. She just got beat a nose by Clarice B, and then skipped the last one. She comes into this one fresh, decent works. Rosie knows how to have them ready. I got 5, 1, and 4.
Yeah, I agree with your top 2. Clarice B is definitely the horse to beat.
Yeah.
I mean, this horse will likely get a good pace to run it. She's sharp. You want to stick with mares that are on their game. She's on her game. She's a nice filly. She used to win for a lot more money than, she's in a starter. This is a starter $8,000 category, and she's a horse.
She was always
that's
tough in the $20,000
run for
level,
15 and 25,000 has been very competitive. So it's not a surprise that she's rattled off a bunch of victories in a row, and she's definitely your horse to beat. She's sharp. She's probably likely going to get another solid pace in front of her. So I got to go to Clarice B. I agree with the newcomer, number 1, Julio's Gold. This horse could run away and high. This horse might have a huge class edge. We'll see if the horse adapts to our Hastings, our Hastings Oval, and if this horse can, this horse is live. Keyshawn Balgaban, a ride for owner-trainer Dave Milburn, who owns in partnership with Richard Yates. And a 2-horse. I'm going to put Fair Command in for 3rd.
Yeah.
No excuse last time. Had the lead, got beat. We got beat by a better
It was
horse.
between her and
Clarice,
Sacred Delight.
Yeah, no, they're noses and necks apart all the time. Fair Command and
Sacred
Delight. So those are your 4 horses. But I think Clarice B is the horse. I think Julio's Gold is definitely worthy of putting in. I think you might need both of them in your pick 4s or something. But I went 5, 1, and 2 in the 5th. On to the 6th race, optional $50,000 claimer for fillies and mares going 6.5 furlongs. Horses that have not won 30,000 this year, or you can be in for the 50,000. Good lineup. This came up dirty tough.
Yeah.
This came up with Madeira Park in the lineup. She's eligible on a technicality, I guess. Or no, she won a stake, but I guess didn't get the 30 Gs. So, I went to the 1 Hidden Harbor. I'm impressed with this. Is her distance.
Yeah.
Madeira Park is unquestionably the best horse in the race.
Yeah.
No qualms with that. Going well, doing everything right, best horse. But at 6.5 furlongs is a horse that is not vulnerable, might be the wrong word, but I mean, she is beatable. And Hidden Harbor is a horse that can go down there very fast fractions and fast times. I just think Hidden Harbor's going to be, it should be respected. Gets apprentice Corinne Andrus. I think he's going to put her on the lead. There's not a lot of speed in here. If you go through the lineup, a lot of them are, they have a bit of pace to them, but no one's super fast. Like Havasu Falls went wire to wire, 2 starts back sprinting. That was 23 flat for the opening quarter. Miss Derrick breaks sometimes, doesn't break sometimes. They got the blinkers on, blinkers off. They got blinkers on today. But I mean, there's not a lot of pace in here. And I just see Hidden Harbor getting to the front. Just play catch me if you can, and I think she might not get caught. She's sharp, she's winning races in good times, and I know she's beating inferior competition, but I mean, I think she's up to this. I put Madeira Park obviously in for 2nd. I respect the connections, the horse. She's just, waiting for the big races at the end of the year, and it's just a race to kind of keep her occupied, and hopefully, she's going to be your 3 to 5 favorite, but I wouldn't be shocked to see her win by 5 lengths either. And I put the 4 Castanet Dancer, who returns to a sprint, and I don't mind her sprinting. She's run some good races at 6.5 furlongs. Respect the connections there as well. I went 1, 3, and 4, but I'm going to take a shot with Hidden Harbor. I know she's got some class issues, but I think she has a big tactical advantage.
She gets in light too.
Yeah,
right. She gets in with 110.
I think she's the only speed. It's the only thing. I think she's the speed, and the track plays for speed.
I looked at that, and I don't know if she is going to get pressed. Lady Henrietta kind of lays close.
If she gets pressed, she's in trouble. But I'm just gambling that she's probably going to get left alone. I think she's going to make the lead. She has been rating off of horses because there's been Kyrie's Gal in the race. There's been really horses
Hot
that tear off to the
horses,
front. But I think she can go to the front and just, I'm hoping.
I'm hoping there's a bit of speed in here. That's why I put Madeira Park on top. If any speed duel
Oh no, she's
forms
the
in
best
front of
horse
her,
by a mile.
she's going to absolutely crush. Hopefully everything goes well for her, and it sets up a little bit, or that she lays close enough that if the speed duel doesn't occur, she's close enough that she could jump on Hidden Harbor and maybe Havasu Falls, who might be up there with her. So I got Madeira Park on top. I went with Miss Derrick in the second spot. I just don't know what to do with Miss Derrick. She's like a box of
Talent's
chocolates.
there.
You
The
never know
talent
what
is
you're going to
there.
get with Miss Derrick. Sometimes she's a rock star, sometimes she just doesn't seem to run. In very capable hands with Craig McPherson and Richard Hamill. But I know Craig himself kind of scratches his head with some of the races that this filly produces. But I'm not going to leave her out because she is a classy filly who is a stakes winner here. So
They got her back in blinkers too, so
might
she
have,
had that
yeah.
last year, and they've won a race without them this year.
Yeah.
But still, they may figure
yeah,
she
she's a
needs
multiple stakes winner here, and
blinkers back.
on the class edge, I'll put Miss Derrick in the second spot. And I agree, Castanet Dancer's a tough old mare. We respect the connections there, obviously, as well too. But I've always liked Castanet Dancer. She's a 6-year-old mare now. I've watched every race she's ever run in her life, and she always tries hard. She always puts forth a good effort, and she's always closing late. Never gets beat by much. I went 3, 6, and 4 in a race where you can make a case for quite a few, as Mike mentioned, a field of 9 very talented fillies in the 6th. On to the nightcap, the boys' end of the Claiming Crown. Going 6.5 furlongs. Field of 7 signed on, and
9.
Sorry, there's my. I was like, "Where's my horse?" There's my other. There's my horse.
Ossifer.
Number 8, honestly, Ossifer, another well-named horse for our good friends Praven and Brody Sorensen. I just threw out his last race. I don't know if he had some mucus problems or if he bled or what it was, but he just didn't have it in him that day. If they can clear up that, I think he's the best horse in the race. Him and Kai's Command, I thought, absolutely dominated this series. Kai's Command is no longer with us, the ill-fated Kai's Command, and it leaves honestly Oscar, I think, absolutely the best horse in the race. So I put him on top. Come Away Home, obviously wanted to be respected out of the Jim Penny barn. He come up here, he's won one of these and finished third in the last one behind Kai's Command. When they first split the race, the one that he won was a split, and Kai's Command, honestly, Oscar ended up in the other end, and I thought that end was much tougher. So I put honestly Officer in the top spot, Come Away Home in third, and Grandpa George, a hard-knocking guy, just won for 10,000. He's a tough horse, and at your kind of $5,000, $8,000, $10,000 level. And Jeff Birmingham in the tack. I don't mind Grandpa George. I threw him in for the third spot. I got 8, 7, and 5 in the nightcap.
Yeah, Grandpa George had to get eligible for this race again because they claimed him, and they ran him last week, and looks like he just, it's tough to run into Tommy Danziger anyway.
Yeah.
But I can just see. I don't have the horse top 3, but I can see the horse doing well. But the connections had to do what they did to get eligible to run in this race, get to reestablish eligibility. I went to the one Lookout Dubai, Drew. I'm going to try this one, go wire to wire. Corinne Andros, I'm hoping for her for the late double from the rail. Hopefully similar trips. But this one had to battle on the head end with Wise Boss. Put that one away. Then had Kai's Command just jumping right on him at the quarter pole. And still held for second.
Should have taken the life out of him the way Kai's Command went by him. And he still ran
held
on.
second ahead of Come Away Home and others. Once again, there's not a pile of speed in here. I mean, I see Leo's in the house, who's kind of a 22-4 type of speed horse. Stolen Otis on the occasion shows speed. There's not a lot of pure speed horses in here. Passion Red's more mile type speed. I think Lookout Dubai gets things a little easier on the head end. And then with no Kai's Command to really be revving at, jumping on you at the quarter pole, I think this horse could have a big break on them. And I'm going to try him to win it. Put the 7 horse Come Away Home in for second. Richard Hamill rides for the pennies. And the 8, honestly, Ossifer. I think they're interchangeable. They're all 3 nice horses that are, honestly, Ossifer. This horse perhaps likes the outside. This horse was kind of stuffed down on the inside last time. Might not have liked it. Might not have been comfortable and kind of ran a flat race. But maybe on the outside, where this horse has run well before. His 3 prior starts, this horse was on the outside throughout. And ran very well, so perhaps the outside draw is the key to, honestly, Ossifer's success. I went 1, 7, and 8, but I definitely think you need all 3 of them, and there's some pretty cool horses in there as well that we didn't mention. Your Grandpa George as well is also live, but I went 1, 7, 8 to close it out. Well, that'll do it for our analysis of the Friday night program. Up next on screen will be a quick recap of our picks. Here comes the bingo balls, our little... Back in race number 1, I went to the 5 Big Jim. I went 5, 2, and 3. Race number 2, I went to the 2 Super Steve, 2, 5, and 4. In the second and the third race, number 7, I Don't Roll on Shabbos. Over the 6 and 4. Race number 4, I went to the 1, Stole It. He's going to try and do that over the 3, Stormy Canuck, and the 5, Game 7. Race number 5, the 5, Clarice B, looks really good. Well, over the newcomer, Julio's Gold, but I think you probably need both of them. You're playing multi-leg wagers. I'm going to go 5, 1, and 2, but I think you definitely need 5 and 1. In the 6th race, went to the 1, Hidden Harbor. Going to take a bit of a shot with her, being sharp, but stepping up in class. Hopefully she can handle the tougher assignment. I went 1, 3, and 4. And the 7th and final, I went to the speedy number 1, Lookout Dubai. I went 1, 7, and 8. On to Drew's picks.
There we go. In the first, I went to the 2, Arkeel over the 5 and the 3. The second, I agree with Mike on number 2, Super Steve over the 1 and the 6. In the third, I went to the 6, Fast Stop over the 7 and the 4. In the fourth, I went to the 3, Stormy Canuck over the 1 and the 5. In the fifth, I'm with Mike on number 5, Clarice B over the 1 and the 4. In the sixth, I went to the 3, Madeira Park over the 6 and the 4. And in the nightcap, the 7th, number 8, Honestly Ossifer over the 7 and the 5.
Well, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in to Handicapper's Corner. Hopefully we give you some good insight. Hopefully get you headed in the right direction in your selections. And if you don't forget, if you have a buddy that's coming out, don't forget if they missed the show, tell them to go down to the tarmac and get those great 2-for-1 coupons that's got our selections on it, the overnights.
It's got the overnight on it.
It's got everything on it. They're great. You got to be down. They're down on the tarmac where they sell the beer and little stands down there. Near the rail, and there's a lot of good information on them, as well as a very good 2-for-1 coupon right here at the Derby Bar and Grill. It's great food, and once again, if you can't make it out on Friday night, come on out here. Drew will be here, and you can.
I'll be here behind the bar. We got live
Behind
music
the
on
bar.
Fridays. We'll have Hastings on the big screen. Great place to watch the races.
Yes, it definitely is. So, and don't forget, pick for $10,000 pick for
guaranteed pick for
pick for payout pool on the Friday night program as well. So one more card before the Peony is over. Well, then we head to the Monday card. The next live card will be Monday at 1:50. We do have 8 races on Monday with 4 sales stakes races on the Holiday Monday program. On behalf of Drew, thanks for tuning in here to Handicapper's Corner, and we'll see you next time here at the Derby Bar and Grill.
Fire, half a to this here and non-telegram.